Right, we are live, so let's get this show on the road as soon as the clock ticks 8 o'clock on this Thursday evening.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
On the edge of the box is Madden. Madden trying to manufacture the shot, gets it away, it's there! Oh my word! What a goal from Paddy Madden! The Irishman strikes again! And is that the goal that's going to send Stockport County back into the Football League?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Scarf Bagara War, episode 54 of this year, which I'm really impressed by because that's more than one a week of this main show, or at least some of this main show. Here on a Thursday night, because obviously we played last night and we'll talk about that in a bit. But I'm delighted to be joined by mainstay of the podcast, Waggy. You all right, mate?
Evening. Yeah, all good. All good. Thank you very much.
Good. And we'll be delighted to be joined by a sort of semi-regular of the podcast, Mark Brockbank.
Evening, everyone.
Hello.
Evening. So today we're going to talk about FA Cup on telly, the EFL Trophy defeat, returning to form and injuries, because that's probably a bulk of what we're going to talk about, to be fair. We're going to have getting reses as well. So I'm sure, Mark, you've probably got quite a few getting reses, maybe. Well, you can have a think between now and then. Yeah, I'd have a think. And then later on, we're going to do a bit of a quiz as well for you, Mark, to see if you can beat 2. Which is the Hatters Matters, courtesy of Hatters Matters. I say that we've not done it with them. It's just we get the info off their page. You can choose a match from this day on a particular year in the past, and you have to name as many of the starting lineup as possible. That's towards the end of the show.
Okay.
Are we going to give him the years, or?
Oh yeah, I'll give him the years. I'll give you the years now. I'll give you the years now. 1999, 2002, 2004, 2019, and 2022. We played on this day. Each of those years.
Well, there's an obvious one to go for today, but is that a bit easy because it's a rather obvious,
Well, that's just the luck of the draw, and if you get more than 2, then you go to the top of the league.
I like to think in that game I'd get more than 2.
Yeah, just the way the cookie crumbles. No Nick tonight. He's going to be back next week. In terms of admin, let me just rattle through this. We've got Geordie Hatter's Away Day show is on Saturday at 9:30. Obviously, we're Morecambe away. Starts at 9:30, so you can get your fill there. And obviously, we've got our Xmas do as well. That's on the 20th of December. Tickets are now on open. I'm not going to say sale because they don't cost anything. Open get. I don't know what you call it.
First come, first served.
On a first come, first served basis, yes. So if you fancy that at Stockport Gin, probably around 7 o'clock on Wednesday, the 20th of December. That's my first day off for Christmas. So I might be getting a bit drunk.
I would be hoping.
Oh, why? Why do you want to get me drunk, Waggy?
Because I'll be stood next to you, leathered as well.
Hey, good stuff. So, I mean, let's get straight into it. Let me get a banner going first. There we go. Let's get straight into it. Aldershot on Sunday. We spoke about it in the Courtyard Club Courtyard Club call for those that I was doing so well for weeks, wasn't I? Jesus. Courtyard Club call. We spoke about it on there, but let's talk about it here. I mean, I didn't think it was too bad. I thought we played well in spells, and we'll get onto Wigan as well last night. But I thought they had more energy than us. It just looked like they wanted it a bit more. I don't know. What do you think?
Go on,
Maggie.
I was going to say, yeah, I think so. It was just as you say. Again, it seemed as if maybe we could have had a gear to go up to, but as you say, they were well up for it. They wanted it, and they, again, they were sort of pressing high and stuff like that, weren't they, and chasing us down and stuff. So it was, it was good. As I say, I think unlucky with the deflection for their first goal. And where's that come from, Burn? Where's he got that from? I was when he was going forward, I was like, right, look for the pass, look for the pass, look for the pass. He's not looking for oh my god, he's hit it. So yeah, I think it was the right decision to get Akil off. I mean, I think he was the second. He got bulked in, and then he got his second challenge. The challenge straight after that, and I think Charlie said afterwards, didn't he, that the fourth official had said the next tackle he does, he's getting sent off.
Really?
So it's like he's not got a choice, has he? He's got to bring him off. So I don't know. I didn't think he was particularly dirty or anything like that, or he just, I don't know. Just the referee had obviously got it in for him, I suppose, or he was just seeing it. Not necessarily got it in for him, but I think he was seeing more into it than what I was seeing. I don't think I think, he probably, it was a good thing to get him off the pitch. Otherwise, we'd have been down 10 men, and I don't think we'd have got a draw if we'd have been down to 10 men. No,
absolutely. I think the ref I think he was right to book him, but for the wrong tackle. I think he booked him too early, and maybe the second one was a yellow. I don't know, but I think we've got away with that a bit. But I agree with that. I tweeted it. I think we need to get Akil right off.
Yes,
because otherwise we are going to go down to 10 men. What did you make of it, Mark?
Similar, very much. I think it just showed, and I think probably we'll talk about it obviously more with returning players and so on, that there's kind of the first team squad, and then there's a fringe, and then there's beyond the fringe, and at the moment the fringe and beyond just ain't cutting it for me. Some of the fringe was okay, but it just looked, we needed to go up a gear, and we weren't able to go up that gear until the last 10-15 when certain returning player came on and sparked us a little bit, which is positive going into this weekend, as I'm sure we'll discuss.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Phil Lloyd says it was never going to be a walk in the park. No, it wasn't. I mean, they scored 7 away at Swindon in the previous round. They were on 5 wins in 6, I think, before they met us.
And they've been on. Wasn't it a bit more for not being defeated? Was it 9 or 10 games undefeated?
Yes, more undefeated. So.
Yeah,
not a walk in the park at all. They're a professional club as well, aren't they? So you've got all that considered, and they're in good form. We're not so much in good form, and we've got the injuries. So you can see how the two sort of pull together, can't you? Yeah.
I mean, we went there a week after they beat Swindon. We went to Swindon, didn't we? We struggled at Swindon for a good hour, and it was only a really positive last 30 at Swindon that got us over the line. So. And they smashed them the week before. Admittedly, they conceded a few late on, but they scored 7, didn't they, at Swindon? So
they were 7-0 up after 60 minutes, weren't they? And it finished 7-4, but that was only because they took the 5 of the best players off, and Swindon put all their best players on.
So no, you're absolutely right, Phil. Never going to be a walk in the park at all.
I think we should still be all right at home. I think we've got enough to beat them at home, but again, it's another midweek game, and you can tell that he's concentrating on the league more. And with it being, in between and coming up to the Christmas period, is he going to put a stronger side out as he can, or is he going to swap it around a bit more like the Wigan game last night? I think that's the unsure what he's going to do for that.
Depends how much he wants to go to West Brom, doesn't it? And how much the club wants to go to West Brom, and the finances, and we're obviously not getting TV money for that one, but
No, but I mean, but we're in a different position. I don't know if you remember it. Years and years ago, there was a chance we could have played Villa if we'd have got past. I don't know. I want to say Shrewsbury or something stupid like that. And we went out with a whimper. Didn't get to Villa, and I think some of the directors at the time blamed that for lack of cash injection that didn't help and things. Much different position now, isn't it? We don't. Arguably, we don't need. I mean, I'm dying to go to West Brom. Don't get me wrong. I want to go there. So I'm in the camp that we should play our strongest team on Saturday and Tuesday because we're capable of it. And I'm sure. I hope Charlie's thinking the same. It seems to all revolve a bit around though. Saas, doesn't it? I know you mentioned I think when you said it before, Mark, about certain players, I'm pretty sure that's who you're referring to.
Absolutely. 100%.
He should have had 2, shouldn't he? Really, against Aldershot.
Yeah.
Standing
And
back up the pitch.
yeah, it's massive.
Yeah.
It's massive, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
noticed
he's definitely been he's been the standout player so far, hasn't he, this year? Oh, sorry, one of 2 or 3 definitely, but he's certainly, you can tell the difference that he makes when he is on the pitch.
Yeah.
He's hunting people down. You can see the touch that he's got, the vision that he's got, and everything. He's just, it's like a new signing, isn't he, compared to what it was like last year?
Yeah,
the tempo goes up when he's on the pitch, which is not exactly a player who legs it around. He does, but it's just that he sees things faster. Players make runs. There's more little triangles, 1-2s. I'd like to see Camps back as well, but we'll sure we'll talk about that.
Yeah, Sars definitely unlocks players, doesn't he? I mean, that's what happened against Aldershot. That's what appeared to happen. I noticed what was disappointing for me against Aldershot was we got ourselves into a good position straight after half time. Okay, at that point you've got a lead to defend, haven't you? For 45 minutes, that's difficult against a team like Aldershot, but we had chances to take that further to 3-1, and if we'd have done that, we'd have put the game to bed. Both early on and late on. Okay, they had their chances as well. Just felt like a bit of a missed opportunity, but an extra game at home, it's not too bad, is it?
To be fair, we've defended incredibly well this season. After the initial blip, obviously, but even then it wasn't horrific. So you would fancy your chances at holding the 2-1 away from home, with, apart from Horsfall, pretty much a first team defence there. It was a chance missed. Another midweek game that we could probably do without, but get more minutes in some of them next week.
I was going to say, is it we could do without, or it's a chance to get minutes in players that haven't got so many? I know we're going to talk about Wigan, and we'll talk about how they performed then. But I always say, you've got glass half full on your subtitle there. I'm definitely in that camp as well. I'm in a lot of camps tonight, aren't I? Well, I'm definitely half.
No, I thought the same. I was thinking about it earlier on. Thinking no, it's a good chance to get more minutes into some players. It's just the some that probably don't need the minutes at the moment, and difficult one, because as I say, the worry is that beyond that initial first team squad, we don't look too strong. And with another injury last night that is going to keep a player out for a while, it's a slight concern for me. But
where would you? I won't say draw the line, but where is that threshold of first team squad for you? Because obviously they're all in the first team squad, aren't they?
I think that you could go back to a few weeks ago when we were sort of towards the end of the 12-game run, and our bench was incredible. You looked at our bench and you could name 3 or 4 not even making the bench who you thought, wow, if that, the fact that we still have players to come back, we had a few players injured, but there was the likes of Cody not making the bench. I think Jaden Richardson won't making the bench, but then I've seen them and I'm thinking, well, is there a reason? Cody, I think Nick alluded to the other week, needed to go out on loan again, unfortunately. And he's probably struggling now because he's on a game time, comes once every 3-4 weeks in a competition that we don't seem as be bothered about, kind of thing. I think Neil Byrne, obviously, quality player to come into that back 5. Cottrell, I think you touched on it a week or so ago, looks a good player, but he needs to be playing every week to show that he is a good player. And unfortunately, he doesn't show it when he gets the chance, gets whipped off after an hour because it's not happened. So I think that's where I'm almost drawing the line. When we're suddenly dipping towards Richardson, Cottrell as the players coming on to make a difference, that's when we don't seem to make the difference. I'm sure, you're not Welsh under 21 international and no good. I'm sure he's a quality player, but he's probably a quality player who needs to be getting minutes. So there we go. Maybe next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah, minutes and maybe he doesn't the physicality side of things. He just seems to be shrugged off the ball a lot and stuff like that. I think and we'll talk about that. But again, it seemed to notice that a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that he seems to be the scapegoat this week. Everybody seems to be getting on his back, like, you know, useless and this, that, and the other. So, but as you say, he's under 21 for the Wales. He's still. It's still a decent standard. This is his.
Yeah.
Is this his first proper loan?
I think
to
so.
like
Yeah.
to league football or something like that. So
Men's football. Yeah.
men's football. That's what I mean. It's a big
Pretty
step
sure
up.
we put that in the reses weeks and weeks ago. You know, people saying that players are shit at this level. You know, it's funny actually. I when I was in my early 20s, I worked with a lad, and I still know him now. And he said that he used to play for Eastleigh's under 21s at the time, or their youth team, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. This spangly, gangly lad. Honestly, got on a pitch with him, and even at Eastleigh at that time, I think they were tier 8 or 9, something like that. Got on a pitch with him playing 7-a-side or something, and he was tiers above everybody on that pitch. You know what I mean? So you've just got to play alongside these players and see how they behave and stuff. And they're just mega, aren't they? That's what. So we put that in the reses ages ago. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I watch a fair bit of Northwest Counties, so step 6 of non-league. You know, so step 10 overall. Standard at that one, you know, you are a quality footballer if you're playing at that level, because you're also picking up a few quid every week and so on. So, you know, that's what level Paul Turnbull's playing at the moment and things like that, Stockport County. So if you're playing at that level, so therefore if you're Wales under 21, and, you know, there's got to be something there, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, good stuff. Just a quick mention before we move on. We've got to mention condolences to the sad loss of Lisa Braithwaite, and obviously condolences to is it Les?
Yeah. Les.
Her husband. Obviously, if you don't know who Les is, you will have seen him at County. He's one of the faces of County. So yeah, and a special thank you to the County faithful who rally around. Oh, County 1883. It's your dad during this difficult time. I probably didn't know that County in 1883. So condolences to you as well, mate. Definitely one of the faces of County.
It's been a few weeks on that, hasn't it, with Ian and Lisa, and tough few weeks for the County faithful. Yeah,
absolutely. Going back to what we mentioned before, it was Gillingham, wasn't it? We drew away and then lost at home. It was.
I'm still scarred by 1 year ago on that, where we lost to Bristol City, didn't we? But we were meant to play Liverpool, and Liverpool messed it up at Anfield and lost to Bristol City. And it had already sold out the match at Edgeley because we thought we were getting Liverpool at home, and ended up losing to Bristol City. I think that was about 93 or something like that. I'm still scarred by it now.
I remember that, and I also did Bristol City play in a red and purple kit or something? Yeah. Okay. I tell you what. There's a question just coming. I don't know whether to go to it or not. Ian Dowden, here we go. Ian's late tonight, but cheers for joining us, Ian. Question to the host and in the chat. We just had our third draw, but who have you always wanted at third round draw? I think. But who have you always wanted at home or away? Even those who are already out can join in. What is your dream tie? Brazil away for me. There we go. That's mine. For me, it's always been Newcastle away, I've got to say.
Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, Newcastle away.
Not played them in my time. Don't know if we had in the past. And United would be another one I'd still want to face, because we still own one apparently from 77. I was not old enough then, just to be clear.
I'm not going to say anything.
It might have been 4, So,
I think it's, as you say, probably any of what they class as the top 6. I think I wouldn't any of those away. I think could be good. I mean, say I've mentioned it before. I think this season I'd like Everton, because I want to go. I want to go to Goodison before that's finished.
Tuesday night, Waggy.
Yeah, well, I can't find tickets, and I can't find where it actually is. Is it actually at Goodison?
It'll definitely
Yeah.
be Goodison.
Definitely at
They
Goodison.
have to play them at the first team ground, or they have to nominate before the season another ground. So I think United play theirs at Leigh Sports Village, for example.
Yeah.
But I think most are played. City probably play theirs at the Academy Stadium, probably.
Yeah.
I think most are, because I know when Ol was involved, he played at Northampton and first team stadium and things like that. No, it's not a Goodison or anything, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I am round the corner. I'm literally like 5 or 10 minute walk, and I'll be at Goodison. So if they're definitely playing there on Tuesday, I'll go to that.
I'm 99% sure it is. And,
I think it is. I think Everton have tweeted it. Yeah, that it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
And also, we don't have a problem with a clash on the Wednesday either now, thanks to BBC. So
no, we don't. Nigel Forshaw said Newcastle away would like a home tie for him. So we've got county fans in Newcastle.
Love it.
Yeah, I think United away is one for me because I hate them. But I think the overriding fear there is that they'd absolutely leather us.
Well, again, I think you've got. It depends what team they put out, doesn't it? If they just put kids out, then maybe we've got a chance. But I still think, you're going anywhere like that, unless there's a massive stroke of luck, we're not walking away with anything, are we?
No. Absolutely not. Okay.
We've been
Bit of a segue there.
My time that I've seen them at Spurs, at Villa, so it's a few big ones.
Spurs was brilliant. I really enjoyed Spurs. I think it's probably one of the best. The old White Hart Lane, I think it's probably one of the best stadiums that I've been in, like acoustically and everything. It was brilliant when you're just in that little corner of the stadium for the away fans. I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
Until David Carroll's little moment.
Sorry, Damon. What happened? What was Damon Carroll's little moment?
Damon's little moment was it he streaked at White Hart Lane.
Did he streak?
He did.
I mean, that's Damon. I mean, he didn't even have a mankini on. No,
I can't. I've blanked it, Ross, for obvious reasons. No longer. I just noticed him tweet it again the other week and thought, gee, that's not so well.
Okay, before we move on, Nigel Forshaw says he's in Ayr, but Newcastle is closer. Yeah, okay, cool. I don't know where Ayr is actually in Scottish geography. I've cycled the length of Scotland, but I don't know where Ayr is.
North of Edinburgh, isn't it? Just north of Edinburgh.
Is it near Kinross? Is it that way? Sort of Dundee.
No, not that far off. Not that far.
We could just Google it.
Tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So on to that then. FA Cup on telly. We've been selected for the replay, which is no good because we'll all be there, won't we? So
yeah.
I mean, it's by the by. It just means we have to move the podcast again for next week. We'll get some money for that, right?
Yeah.
What, for moving the podcast?
No. Yeah. You know what? Should we need compensate? Bloody hell. On telly. Sorry, just having a geography lesson. West Coast below Glasgow, you dunces, lol. Yeah, we are. Sorry, we're dunces. Even JK says, southwest of Glasgow. Sorry about that.
We got the right country.
Yeah. Don't start. Don't alienate us from our Scottish family. So we're on telly. Get a bit of money for that. Which is pretty decent, and it's on the BBC.
BBC Two, I believe.
BBC Two. Now, the interesting fact is we've been on telly for the last 4 years now, haven't we?
Yeah, I think somebody mentioned this, didn't they?
Yeah, Dan Culverwell in our chat mentioned it, and I quite wrongly thought, right, they were all BBC, but they weren't. It was BT Sport, ITV4, and the BBC. So yeah, and then we have got.
This is only the second time we've ever been on the BBC.
Is it? What was the first time?
Wasn't bad.
Well, yeah, the last one wasn't bad. Yeah, Bolton.
Yeah. Was that the first time we've ever been on the BBC, Bolton?
I presume live. That's the first, because when was the last time that BBC actually had live games?
This is true. probably the big.
Will we
I
have
don't
ever
know,
been in a
1984,
position where they'd want to put us as a even like that's a championship game, but they want to put us on?
Yeah, true. It was probably on a Sunday just before Bullseye, wasn't it? You know, after the snooker, when you used to dread going. It was bath day, and you used to dread going into school the next day. That's what my Sundays were like.
The top 40 while you're in the bath, Ross.
Yeah.
Record it and keep pausing it.
No, the top 40, yeah.
On your tape.
Yeah. I was going to say then the top 40 was on Top of the Pops on a Thursday night, but the live top 40 was on the radio.
Live top 40 was on a Sunday.
Yeah, I did used to listen to that. Them were days. On to last night then, Wigan trophy defeat again. What did you make of the actual football itself? You know, the way we set up, personnel.
We lost 2-0. Done. Next.
We turned it on second half, apparently, didn't we?
We did. Yeah, first off, very much felt like a training game, as if it should have been at Carrington. That's the way it seemed to me. And 2 poor goals to give away, but it was there was nothing there. I think they only have 2 shots on target all game, and both of them were the goals. I think.
But they were on top of us for the whole of the first half, weren't they? And
first half, yeah, they but and I think JK said halfway through the second half was whoever's shooting that way has to press, because we seem to do exactly the same to them as they did to us in the first half.
Was it downhill?
Yeah, it must have been downhill.
But again, we made it up, didn't we? Changed it around a bit second half. So
yeah. So what I was going to pick up on was, and just see what you think of this. Obviously, we played Cotterill, me and Johnson in the middle, didn't we, for the first half? They got overrun a bit. It stands to reason, really, doesn't it? Because they've not filled out yet, pretty much. Cotterill probably more than Johnson and is it Ben? That's not Ben Me. Is it Ashton Me? Ashton Me. Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, you don't know that?
No, I didn't know that. Hey, that's good. So
it's
it's Ben's
Ben's
nephew.
nephew.
Like it. So he's got pedigree then. That's good. So they've not filled out yet. Probably. I mean, it's a game for them absolutely to be played in. I just felt that that's where we lost it, because we had Richardson on the right, and he's, I don't say largely ineffective, but he's, you know, I suppose he played okay. Definitely in the second half, he played okay. I just felt like it was easy for them to get through, and I thought it was just easy for them in the first half. And then when we made the changes in the second half, that's when we sprung to life, and it was all us after that.
Yeah. As I said, it was. They just seemed to say, it was as soon as any of those 3 got the ball, there was a player on the back of them every time. They didn't have time to get a touch and look to pass it or get it off. So as you say, they were pressing the young lads straight away, and maybe a little nudge in the back or a little niggle here, there, and everywhere. So they would, in effect, they were getting bullied, weren't they, in the first half?
Yeah. I think they made 9 changes, didn't they, as well? They played Friday night.
I thought it was 6. I thought JK said it was 6. 6 changes from Saturday or whenever it was they played.
Yeah.
But
they
as you
played
say,
Friday against York, didn't they, in the cup?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, you say they're a mid-table, and they're currently 10th, aren't they, in League One? But they've had points docked, so they would have been. Would they be in the playoffs? I think if they hadn't have had the points docked.
Yeah. False position, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a false position, as you say.
As
we've mentioned before, once you start getting to that top of League One, that's where you there's the different quality, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely, in my opinion. So it's if it's the sum of the parts, isn't it? If you add all that up, the fact that they're top half of League One, pushing probably, obviously in the playoffs, notwithstanding the points deduction, they've made 6 changes, so they've still got half of the first team in there. We've made loads of changes and got a very, very young central midfield, which is obviously the engine room of your team.
Yeah,
I wasn't surprised by the first half, and I was quite pleased actually with the second half, the way that we approached that, and especially when the players came on. Alafi looked lively.
Yeah, but I think you said someone's just put it in the comments. I think we were starting to improve before we actually made the changes, and I think we made the changes just emphasize that and give us that extra impetus, didn't it? So, as you say, it was a game of two halves, but we should have. Cottrell should have scored when he nicked in front of the defender when the keeper passed it out, and then there was another one later on. I can't remember who it was because I wasn't really paying attention. By that point, it was on in the background, and when JK got a bit excited, that's when I'd look up at the telly. But yeah, as I say, it could have quite easily been 2-2, but I'm not asked. we're out. No, that's what I mean. If we'd have got through that, then maybe, I mean, again, if we had got through, and this is all hypothetical, if we'd have got through, and then Charlie still plays the same team in whoever we get in the next round, then it's like, well, I'm still not taking it. We're not taking it seriously. We're not asked about it. No. But if he started trying to put a bit of a stronger side out, because then, it's like, at what point do you start taking that cup seriously? Where do you start thinking, oh, well, it's going to be a trip to Wembley. We can win a cup here. Is it the quarterfinals? Is it the semi-finals? It's up until that point. I don't think anybody, and you could see, what did they have? 3,000, just over 3,000 there yesterday, last night, and it was just under 600 county fans. So they only opened two stands. I think it was the main stand and the away stand for the county fans. The other two stands weren't open at all. So I think that just pretty much sums up what they thought about it as well.
Yeah.
But if you take that back sort of 6 weeks, we put a different team out then. And we also have a team that's a lot hungrier to go and play in that game. We've been forced players who've played on Sunday to play on Wednesday, also knowing that we need them Saturday. And it's quite clear that we're not prioritising it. Yeah. If that's 6 weeks ago, the likes of Powell, Paddy, Neil Byrne, and so on, Richardson obviously is slightly different. But they're coming into that going, this is my chance. Whereas last night, it was probably more of a hindrance to some of them. To be fair, the professionals, and when you see anything at close quarters, you realise that they put in a shift regardless, because there's reputations, contracts, all sorts on the line, and there's no such thing as a nothing game to them most of the time. But play that in the middle of our 12-game winning run when players can't get minutes on the pitch, that's a different story last night, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say, if we had a full squad with no injuries and stuff, then I think, it'd be a much stronger team that we'd have put out last night, because, as you say, you would have needed the likes of Paddy and Powell and Byrne and that, as you said, them would need to get minutes. And that's why I think that was like, we played against Salford, it was quite a strong team that we put out against them, but that was because with people coming back from injury and stuff.
Yeah. Good stuff. Tell you what, let's get on to the injuries. Let's play this little break, and then we'll get on to injuries and players returning. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. And for the audio podcast, please rate, review, and recommend us on whatever podcast player you are listening to us on. Cheers, thank you. So, injuries then, and players returning, and injuries injury last night. Obviously, Sars is back. Who are we expecting back sooner rather than later?
Camps, I think.
He said anytime.
Yeah, he said. I think he said that Wednesday might just be too much, but he should be there or thereabouts for the weekend. That's what he said, I think, last week. I think that's the only one that I can think that's anywhere close.
Yeah, after that, then I think it's the new year before anybody else is realistically back, because Collar and Hippolyte are probably the next ones you would have thought, and they're not due back for a while. One that Ian Downs just mentioned in the comments, Crowsdale, is he not suspended Saturday? Has he got his fifth?
I think he is. Yeah, he got booked against Aldershot. No.
I'm going to second
it. Against Salford, and I get a feeling that he wasn't there. I thought he would banned for Aldershot, but he was on the bench, so clearly wasn't banned.
Didn't somebody mention that they were all the red cards were yellow red cards. Man, I don't know this year. All the yellow cards were wiped at a certain point, or have I got that wrong?
Well, we're not halfway through the season yet, so surely you've got to play at least half the season before that starts coming in. I always thought it was late. It was in like the new year sometime before that came in.
Yeah, Ian Dowd is playing it here. They've been wiped. I thought I heard that as well, but
that's great if he has. I mean, I really wasn't sure. I was expecting him to be missing the Aldershot game because I was always pretty sure that the FA Cup sort of counted for suspensions and things similar alongside the league, whereas Pizza Trade, Bristol Street Motors or whatever was its own competition. Hence, Scrozo got sent off against Salford, didn't he, in that 2 yellows. So, I think he served his suspension therefore in that, obviously, and so on.
So people are commenting, it looks like the general consensus or belief is that they've been wiped, so he's back in. So, I mean, that's great because going into Saturday's game against Morecambe, it's potentially Crowsdale, Sarcevic and Camps, is it not? If I'm reading that right?
Maybe Bailey. Bailey's going to be playing, isn't he?
But Bailey would Bailey not be on outside left? Sort of. And then maybe, and then you'd get, because we would go back to a 4-3-3, would we not?
It depends if he plays Akil Wright in a back four in a three, or leaves him out and plays with a back four. We now have plan A, B, C, D, E, and F, apparently, don't we?
Well, we have, yeah. I've got to say, I obviously I like Akil Wright, but I think he's finding his level a bit now. I don't know. He's not been impressive in the last few games. I don't know if it's confidence or what, but he was a bit sloppy last night. So I know he's not injured or anything. I know we're on the injury section, but I just thought I'd throw that in there, see what you thought.
Yeah, he's not seemed right in the last few weeks, as you say. I don't know. Is it because he's being moved into midfield again? Whereas, last season he was pretty much always right centre back, wasn't he?
Well, last night he was centre half again, was he not? I think
he's the player they use in a very fluid way, isn't it? He will sometimes be right centre back based, but then they'll ask him to push into midfield with the ball, push into midfield to make an overload. Charlie loves his make an overload here, there, and everywhere kind of thing. So I think that's where he gets used. It was good to see. I forget which game was it. Was it Colchester where they swapped it because it was blatantly obvious we didn't need two defensive mids in there, and
Well, I thought I'd throw that one in there. Okay, so I guess what you could say is then we're almost back to full strength, apart from obviously the long-term injuries. Because in my mind, like when I'm playing Football Manager, Waggy, you'll attest to this. I don't know, Mark, do you play Football Manager?
No, I'm not a massive player of it these days.
When you've got a long-term injury, you kind of just go, well, I've not got them, so I'm dealing with that, and almost just dismiss them from your brain.
I have the tick unavailable. So if they're unavailable, I don't have them in the squad.
Yeah, I wonder if Charlie does that. I wonder if Charlie I'm sure I'm joking.
But what do we think this will mean come January? Because it's notable, I think it was after Sunday, wasn't it? Charlie alluded to in his post-match, and then we'll get through to January when the window opens. Which, is that a bit of activity? Is that more loans? Would it be that Pond and Cottrell go back if they're not deemed either quite ready to break into the team, or even if their own clubs say now they're not playing enough games, bring them back, Wolves and Swansea respectively?
I think it depends where we are in the league and what injuries we've still got. If it turns out that Collar's worse than he is and he's not going to be back till February, March, then I think that's definitely someone that we need to sort of look to replace. But I don't know. As you say, I think we could quite easily send Cottrell and Pond back and get a couple of other loanees in. But again, I can't see us getting any any first team players in, you know what I mean, on a loan or anything, then we're still going to get like an under 23s or under 21s. So are they going to be any better than Cottrell and Pond?
Yeah. I mean, it was fairly obvious come the summer that we'd kind of used all our budget, rightly or wrongly, by the end of the window. Can we assume there's potentially a bit more budget? Can we assume there's a get us over the line budget come January? Be interesting. Yeah, I go back to, I think it was said maybe last week. You got to be careful with the long-term injuries because you suddenly create a bottleneck in your squad.
Yeah.
And come February, you've suddenly got 8 midfielders, even though you only had 4 at the end of the window, kind of thing. You know, so likewise, front positions.
Yeah, I think that's like when everyone was screaming that we need to sign a replacement for Wootton. If we'd have gone out and bought a replacement for Wootton, where would that player be now?
Yeah, and I think,
as you say, it is having that balance, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the reality from the virtuality, isn't it? Virtual reality. I mean, because it's not Football Manager, so you can't just buy a player because you haven't got. You know, these are human beings, and you've got to manage people and manage wage budgets and manage financial situations and things like that. I would like to think that if we'd spent correctly, or it would deem that we'd spent correctly so far, which I tend to think we have. You know what I mean? I don't think we've overspent. I'd like to think that Stock would say, okay, to get us over the line, if you think we need this particular player, right, let's go and get him. I'd like to think he'd say that.
And I think you've got to have one eye on that. If that's the case, then we're buying League One players. We're buying people that are going to play for us in League One.
Yeah, they've got to improve the team, haven't they? They've got to improve the first 11.
Yeah. Charlie's always said that, hasn't he? He said, if there's somebody there that we know that can improve the team or bring something else to the team, then we'll go for that person. We're not necessarily just going to get some big signing because, you know, we've got Hollywood owners or anything like that. We'll just buy everybody that, like Chelsea used to be. We'll just buy anybody that played well against us.
Yeah.
So I think we've invested well. I think.
I know we keep on doing flashbacks here, but do you remember when Birmingham City did it? They had about 45 players on the books. Was it Barry Fry? And I think was Kevin Francis one of them, and he's about 10 strikers or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't end well. But yeah, I think we'll see. There's lots of moving parts, isn't there? I'd like to think we've got a very fluid squad. So players who are in possibly could go back. There's loads of things, loads of permutations.
Yeah.
And loads of rumours going around as well.
Player in every position for Mr. Wilson.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
This is it. Before we move on to getting reses and the quiz, one last question for you both. Not winning 4, are you starting to get worried?
No.
No, not at all. No. Not at all. I feel that we're looking like we're probably come Saturday going back to more of the team that won us 12 on the trot. We've not had that team for the last 4 matches. We've not had we've actually had quite a disrupted last 4 matches with different competitions, different lineups, few injuries, things like that. If anything, feels like Saturday might be I'd like to think it's start of another run. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally
maybe not a big 12 game, but a good solid period, pick up points through Christmas, come out the other. If we come out the other side of Christmas and we're still 4 or 5 clear or more, that's unreal, for me.
Yeah.
Because it's that 12 game run that got us 4 or 5 clear. If we retain that, I think we're the only team that's doing 2 points per game, aren't we? Still at the moment.
Average, yeah.
Which is usually the sort of threshold, the baseline, if you like. So,
but I think we've got the potential of going on a 15-20 game unbeaten run. Maybe not winning every game, but we can certainly do that again. And we seem to be one of them that are stronger in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
I know it's one of those cliches and stuff, but we do seem to be. If the season started in January, we'd have been top. You know, with all that.
Don't you start with that.
If the season started in September, we'd have the most points so far this season.
Yeah. Good stuff. Right, shall we do getting reses, and then we can do, because I hope you've been thinking about one, Mark, something to get in reses.
I've got a couple of things.
Okay, right, let's play the jingle and we'll do getting reses.
Reses. Get in the reses. Get in the reses.
I'm not having that.
Get in the reses.
Oh, getting reses.
Do you know that clip, right? I know it irks everybody a bit. It does me as well. It's a bit weird, but I quite like it because I said to Nick, I said, just can you send me a get in the reses like voice pop so I can try and do something with this? And he sent me a clip. It just had him doing different get in the. It was like a Partridge thing. It was dead funny.
It is very Partridge.
Yeah, that's all I've done. I've just done that in the background and then added me on top of it. Anyway, getting reses, right. Do you want me to go first this time? Because
if you got one, I've got some. You go.
Yeah, I'll go first this time. Right, my getting reses is professional players who are seen as role models, absolutely screaming at the referee and surrounding the referee. A la, you saw me tweet, didn't you? A la Haaland on whatever day it was.
What a face that is! What a face!
That one.
Jesus.
It's just, it happens a lot. United, Roy Keane and his mates used to do it a lot, and I just think
Chelsea used to do it a lot, didn't they?
Yeah, I just think, right, the quality of refereeing is not good anyway. Because it's not a profession. You know, they don't get incubated from an early age, and it's not a career path for them. It's just something to do on the side. I used to work with somebody at BAE who used to be a Premier League referee. Neil Swarbrick. He worked in the building next to us. So, you know, so they're going to a day job. So what I think needs to get in the reses is that kind of behavior, because you're not going to get people wanting to be referees, staying in the game at a very young age, which won't improve the quality now in the top level, if you are being like that and giving kids something to aspire to like that.
Yeah.
Because having been in grassroots, and you'll know this, Mark, as well. My lad was in grassroots. I coached his team. Kids would be taking a corner and they'd put their hands up in the air as a signal for nothing, because they don't know what they're doing it, because who they watch on a Saturday does it, basically.
So when there was a thread, I think, on Twitter like 2-3 years ago. It was saying about like watching an under nines, and his lad scored and he ran off and went.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know what he was doing that for, because he's got both his parents, he's got both sets of grandparents, he's got all his aunties and uncles. He's not even had a dead goldfish. I don't know.
Exactly. So, and I did tweet it, and I got more likes than I got negative responses. And a ref association retweeted me as well. So I got loads of people replying to me on that. But it was astounding the amount of people that didn't get it. You know, the amount of people that actually said, well, yeah, but the decision was wrong. It's like, yeah, but that's not my. That's not the point.
Yeah,
of me
totally
tweet.
understand. That's not the point. It's the point of reacting. And as you say, kids are influenced by watching these people, and they will be as soon as, you know, a decision goes against them, they're up in the face of the referee. And as you say, it's a grassroots, and you've got a young lad or a young girl that's doing the refereeing, and you've still got 4 or 5 people that are surrounding you, then obviously it's intimidating. It's going to scare the shit out of you. I'd probably get scared 7 or 8 year olds running around threatening me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. County 83. Was you a John Rooney fan then, Ross? No. Well, for his art, yes, but not the artist. I'd probably say that, because he was one of those that would. Don't get me wrong, we've had a few over the years, and I'll support them as players of Stockport County. But if they start doing that, I just think less of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I see it all the time, Russ. As you say, grassroots, it's horrific. And when you get a referee that is struggling a little bit and then isn't in a position to do something about it, and he's done even more, it just gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
There was a game Saturday, and ref just completely lost control, bless him. But mainly because he just had people in his face at every decision. That basically, it wasn't kids, it was open age football, but it's got to start somewhere. And then when I see it on a Sunday with my younger lad plays under 14s, horrible age group because they're all arseholes, they are, and they think they know everything. And it's just some horrific stuff there. But it comes from what they see others doing.
Yeah.
I think
Rooney's always horrific for it as well. I think Rooney actually did get a ban once for effing and jeffing in a referee's face, but
he got sent off at Hartlepool when we got beat 5-0 behind.
No, I mean Wayne. I was thinking Wayne Rooney actually as well. But yeah, John Rooney must be a family thing, of course.
Must be a family thing, yeah.
Wayne Rooney got sent off at West Ham in the Prem for it, from memory, or against West Ham.
So that's my getting the reses. So I think we're all agreed on that. Mark, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll chuck an Edgeley Park one in. That
nice.
It's been doing me head in a little bit. I'm someone who gets into my seat relatively early. I'm usually there for the beginning of Kenny Boxall's spiel, so I know all about that. Includes vaping and pens and pencils and so on. But I think he's been absolutely done over in the last few years by this video announcement of the teams with the about 3 to 4, 5 second clips. It's awful. It's awful. There's no longer that good old time of, they'd read the team out and there'd be a cheer after every name, because you're waiting about 20 seconds for each name. It's horrific. That can go for me. Don't know.
Would you see? Being sort of like a intermediary and stuff like that, and editing and things, I quite like it. But to be honest, but how would you improve it? Would you just completely get rid of it, or would you think like speed it up or something? I don't know.
I think they could do it where they put the team up there if they want to put faces on and so on. But it's this kind of, what are they? Probably about 5 second clips each one.
Yeah.
Filmed in like the room where they make toast at Carrington by the looks of it or something. I don't know. Do I want to see those ones that they started where they walk up to the camera and then pull a face?
It's like an advert for BT Sport.
I don't remember at Wembley. Kenny was done over there as well for the team announcement, because they did something to him there and he completely lost track and he missed a player off, and bless him, he's a stalwart. We want to be helping him, not hindering him.
Fair dues, right? Let's get it in the reses. Cool. That's a good one. That, because we're not had anything sort of even near to something like that. So I like it. Yeah, I like it. Waggy, what have you got this week? Is it going to be a motorway somewhere?
Don't look like that. I think for me, a lot of people have commented this on Twitter and stuff. I think BBC and ITV's third round coverage. What's a load of shit? What's a load of shit? Why? I mean, I understand Sunderland Newcastle. That's a massive game. That is a massive game, and they've not played each other for a while. That's going to be unbelievable.
It's tasty, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Tottenham versus Burnley on a Friday night.
Yeah.
It's Liverpool Arsenal. Arsenal Liverpool. Why show that? You get to watch it twice a year anyway. It's on, and again, it's not something that you're going to see. And they even tweeted to say that each team will get about 80 grand for it. Why don't you get, and heaven forbid it doesn't happen, but if Aldershot beat us, get Aldershot on the telly. 80 grand to them. It's a massive difference, doesn't it? It makes a massive difference to all these non-league clubs. And they say that, the FA Cup and everything like that. It's just absolutely. This is what nine Premier League teams and 3 ex-Premier League teams that are being shown.
Yeah. Have you seen the Maidstone United tweet?
The what? Sorry,
Maidstone United have tweeted about it, and they basically said that 80 grand would get us over the line for redoing our pitch at the end of the season. that is what that means to us. Whereas 80 grand to Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, etc.
Yeah, it's going to make no difference to them because they're getting hundreds of millions each season.
It's a player's 80 grand's probably one player's wages for what, 2 or 3 days, maybe.
Yeah,
highest earner
for a training session.
Yeah. So no, you're right. You're right. I did notice though the entitled lot from North Wales. Some of them have been tweeting, similar argument to you, Waggy, but then saying, "Why aren't we on telly?" It's like, well,
as you say, if the media want to bum them as much as they already do, this is the ideal opportunity, wasn't it, to get them on the telly?
Yeah, and they haven't, which I was quite pleased at, really, 'cause that doesn't deserve to be on the telly, but less said about them, the better. There are other ones on there that definitely do, and with clubs that need it.
Yeah, there's about 8 to 9 non-league clubs, isn't there, and none of them have got a shout.
Which is
absolutely on S4C or whatever anyway, won't they? So
yeah, of course they will. Yeah. And with a push, with a with a tailwind, you can find any match, really, can't you, if you wanted to? But
absolutely.
But it is a bit annoying.
That's just showing it's the magic of the cup and showing all these little the ties of the round and everything from the previous 2 rounds, because it was non-league, League 1, League 2, realistically, and then the big boys come in round 3, and then that's it. Forgot about you.
The message it sends, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, big boys are in now. You lot don't matter anymore.
Yeah, especially if they're playing each other, as you say, like Arsenal, Liverpool. That's just like, so what?
Yeah. No, that can get in the reses as well. 3 good getting the reses there. Okay, shall we finish up with the quiz? I say quiz. It's not me. Quiz. Right. So I need to do a jingle for this. So Waggy, you can sit back and enjoy somebody else struggling.
Good.
So I don't know if you've seen it, but for those that haven't seen it, basically what we're going to do is we're going to ask Mark to pick a year of a day that we played on this day, the county played, and we're going to ask him to name as many of the starting lineup of that team in 1 minute. The leaderboard so far, not many people have had a go at this. So Waggy, we're discounting Waggy because his was a different game. You beat me, didn't you? I think.
Oh, that was a different game.
Yeah,
so otherwise I'd be joined second.
Yeah, that was a Nick game. Yeah. So so Phil Lloyd got 1. It is difficult though, so I'm not calling anybody because I would probably get 0. So just let me just say that right now.
You did.
I did get 0 last time, didn't I? Yeah. And Dave Philbin, he got 2, and this is
Phil Philbin.
He got 2. So your choices are, Mark, you have got, and are you ready for this?
Yeah.
On this day in 1999, we played Manchester City.
We certainly did.
In 2002, we played Plymouth Argyle in the Cup, lost 3-0. 2004, we played Wrexham in League 1, won 2-1. 2019, we played Chorley and won 4-2. And then in 2022, we played Charlton Athletic and won 3-1. Look at the draw, innit? Which one are you going for?
Well, I feel I should go for 99, but it's a more easy one, isn't it?
You could set the bar. You could just set the bar with it, couldn't you? With 99.
I mean, I say that I probably, I'm hoping to get more than 2, but I don't think I'm getting anywhere near 11.
So
am I allowed any subs or non-playing subs? Is it first name I mentioned that's wrong?
Just need the first. Yeah, we'll just go for the first 11.
No, okay. You just say as many as you can. So you're not.
How long
you just
have we got?
keep going.
A minute.
I've got a minute. Tell me when.
Yeah. Right. Let me get it out. So, as in the game on the screen, not anything else. Getting anything else out. That could have been awkward. Right. Okay. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
So let's start in goal. Carlo Nash, Mike Flynn.
Yep.
Jim Gannon.
Yep.
Tony Dinning, obviously.
Yep.
Alan Bailey, obviously.
Yep.
Ian Moore.
Yep.
Chris Allen on the left wing. Awesome game that night. starting to struggle now. Shane Nicholson. Shane Nicholson play left back. Get in. Who would have played right back if Dinning was in midfield? Don't know. It's around Keith Briggs. Connolly. No, he'd gone. Coops. Did Coops play that night?
Yep.
Ali Gibb. Did he play right back?
No.
Oh.
Time up. Time up. Time up.
Woodthorpe?
Time up. Can't have that one. Time up.
Was it right though?
He was right. Yeah, you were right.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. So you got at my count, you got 8. Okay.
I love that.
So
I love that.
So let's do that. Brocker's got 8. So that is. I'm not sure that'll get beat. So I think you.
You see, it was an easier one though.
Well, yeah, but it's look at the draw. There might be one from last season. Well, there was Charlton clearly. So,
I don't think I'd have done as well against Charlton, to be honest.
So the team that beat Man City away 2-1 was Carlo Nash in net, Colin Woodthorpe, Shane Nicholson. Now I don't know why we played 2 left wing backs, but
Woodthorpe
Tom
played
Bennett
midfield around then.
Yeah. Tom Bennett, Mike Flynn, Jim Gannon, Kevin Cooper, Tony Dinning, Alan Bailey, Ian Moore, Chris Allen. Now, I think you didn't get Woodthorpe and you didn't get Bennett.
No.
So I think you got 9, actually. I think you got 9, so I'm going to adjust that. Because you said one of them late, didn't you?
Came on that night. Seem to remember him.
Who did?
Martin McIntosh came on, I think.
He did, and Kent
I
Ferguson.
tried him down the front, but I knew he hadn't started. So.
Yeah. So, yes. And that put us into 6th position after that, believe it or not.
It did.
Yeah, so there you go. So you are top of the leaderboard. And at the end of the season, what we'll do is we'll work out a prize and we'll get a prize over to you. We'll probably let you choose something from the Etsy shop, which is a good time to mention that we have got our Etsy shop open and there are some good designs on there. So do get those ordered. Apologies to the very small number of people that didn't receive their packages because every are useless. So, but if that happens, please do get in touch and we will sort that out for you. Apologies if that's happened to you.
Every driver driving around with a Laffy t-shirt on.
Yeah, in a well, actually, it's a Charlie one and a Ben Hinchliffe one actually. So if you see.
Shop in Offerton holding parcels hostage until the new year now. It's closed and told everyone they can't have their parcels till the new year. That's not what you want this time of year, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. But what we can do, if you're local to Stockport, what might be a good idea is I'll get it delivered to me because they seem to arrive to me, and then I'll hand it to you at a match. That may be an alternative. There we go.
Oh yeah, now you're back being full-time supporter.
Sorry for having weddings and stag do's and things and big bike rides in my life. Good stuff. Right. Thanks for joining us, chaps. That's really, really good. Thank you very much. Good luck. Well, not good luck. Good luck. Safe journey to those going to Morecambe on Saturday. I'm not going. Are any of you two going? You going, Mark?
Yeah, I'm off there. Bit of a Jolly Boys Christmas outing Saturday, so
nice.
Minibus up to Morecambe with some of the lads.
Nice, yeah. Morecambe in the winter, lovely.
Yeah.
It is that nice. I've been there's the nuclear power station up there at Haitian, so I've stayed in Morecambe a few times in like the darkest parts.
I've worked there a good few times, Waggy.
Yeah,
it's great. Proper great.
It is. Yeah.
Good stuff, right? Cheers, boys. Please do like and subscribe if you're listening to or watching this on YouTube. And please do rate and review us on whatever podcast player you are listening to us on. This will be available as a podcast audio to patrons. If you are not a patron, please do consider joining up. You get this audio podcast early and you get exclusive access to the Courtyard Club call. Dave Smith never existed. and anything else we want to chuck out. And don't forget, if you are interested in coming to the Christmas do on the 20th of December in Stockport Gin, let us know. Tickets are free. It's a quiz. We're going to have a laugh and a beer and just have a bit of a joke around, basically, in a private room. So yeah, private room as in everyone will be there, not like not gonna be long legs or anything. I need to shut up, don't I? Right, cheers everybody, and see you next week.
Cheers, thank you all.
See yous.
This episode of the Scarf Bagara War was written, recorded and produced by Russ Johnson and Nick Lee. The music on the opening titles was produced by Dan Johnson. Subscribe wherever you get your content, as well as finding out how to join the TSBW fan club. Check out the links in the description or go to allthews scarfbagarawar.co.uk.